In between trying on aluminum foil hats, economist Paul Krugman went on TV to tell us how awesome President Obama really is. Look at it.
People who had this idea that Obama was going to bring a transformation of America, I thought were being naive, but by God, we got health reform. We got a significant financial reform. We are getting the environmental action is not everything you would have wanted, but it's more than anyone else has done for decades. I think if my ranking of consequential presidents, at least in modern history, would probably be FDR, LBJ, Obama, and then Reagan. Clinton is an incredibly gifted politician. But in fact, Bill Clinton was not a consequential president, and Obama, although clearly not the natural politician, is a consequential president.
Could have afforded a studio. So he called him a consequential president, and Captain Crazy is right. Obama is indeed the most successful leftist ever at implementing progressive ideals, enabling a country to experience the consequences of unbridled government expansion and identity politics in its purest form. He placed a sixth of the economy in government hands. He shifted millions of Americans into dependence mode, tethering achievers to create an illusion of equality, further atrophying the muscles of initiative. He recast priorities from global threats to American injustice, a Trojan horse for punishing an evil, sexist, racist country. And everything he wanted, he got. A domestically divided, globally compromised, humbled wreck of a ship. The result, every single Democratic candidate who might lose in November are running from the president like he's the crazed drunk waving a dead cat on the subway. Funny, when a liberal achieves his objectives, his supporters flee because the handiwork is so horrifying. So yeah, when you consider Mr. Obama's achievements, they could be described as staggering, much like how our country is now. So I think Krugman is right, Jesse, that Obama is a consequential president, and he got what he wanted.
I wouldn't agree with you on that. I mean, I think even liberals would agree that he hasn't gone as far as they'd like him to. I mean, listen, let's just go down the list here. He says environmental legacy. Mm-hmm. He oversaw the BP oil spill. Gas prices are at record high. Mm-hmm. The guy put solar panels on the White House, maybe. He sunk $500 million into Solyndra. I don't think that's a great environmental legacy. Maybe Bob could correct me. Financial reform, that's part of the president's big legacy. I mean, we still have too big to fail. Bush was the one that bailed out the banks. No one went to prison, any of these guys on Wall Street. And the stock market's doing great, but Main Street really hasn't felt it. And then lastly, Obamacare? I mean, is he serious? This guy lied to the American people, said you could keep your doctor, hospital, and health care plan, and then he took it away. But premiums are up. I mean, the $1 trillion was added to the deficit. I cannot believe this guy even put him ahead of Reagan. It's astounding.
No, but my point was, it's like, even though he got it passed, he got a social program passed, Dana. That's a big deal for a left-winger to get government into your life.
It also was prioritization, okay?
Yeah.
So what the country needed at the time was major jobs.
Yeah.
What they decided to do, instead of doing a big program or tax reform, which I think the president could have gotten done in those first 2 years with the democratically led Congress, he chose health care reform instead,
right.
And they've spent 6 years trying to mop it up.
Yeah.
But there are people like Krugman. I mean, they really do believe that is the most consequential thing because they take a much longer view.
Yeah.
They believe that in the long run it is going to work in America's favor.
Yeah, I mean, I believe, Kimberly, he's the greatest progressive president ever because he was able to pull off Obamacare.
Well, I think he's the most consequentially dangerous president that we've ever had in terms of the havoc that he has wreaked in this country in health care. I don't think he's been helpful, like you pointed out, with respect to the economy. There were a lot of promises made, but pretty much he's held true to his political ideology and the things that he wanted to help accomplish. But again, those weren't even done well. If he cared that much about the healthcare system in this country, he would have vetted it properly. It would have been ready to go instead of pushing it forward because it was politically expedient. As for Mr. Krugman, I think he just lacks credibility. When you read that article, you see the things that he's pointed out. There's so many holes in it. It seems to me that it's quite partisan and that he's simply trying to help out the president and reshape perception into some kind of twisted reality to help them out for the midterm elections.
Bob, here's my theory on this. It's a different in philosophy. If you believe in America's unique greatness, then you think that Obama is a failure. But if you believe that America itself is behind all the other countries in progress, then he's a great leader.
Now, first of all, a couple of things I'd like to clarify here is that the insurance rates have gone down in the last 3 years, not up.
And no, premiums.
Wait a second. Just wait a second. Can I can't handle both your questions at the same time. Can I just finish this out for a second?
Sure.
Obamacare, if you sat in this room 6 or 7 months ago and listened to everybody here except for me say this is going to be the biggest campaign issue, it's going to fall apart, it's death to the Democrats, I don't know of a single race that's going to rise or fall on Obamacare. It is working, at least not as well as it could be, but you don't see all these disasters that everybody predicted were going to happen. They have not happened, and in fact, it is working.
In the context,
Obamacare's working.
You're wrong.
Yes,
Tell that to someone that's lost their health care plan.
Yeah.
Well,
Tell that to someone that's lost their doctor or their hospital.
I've listened to that propaganda.
Tell it
for
to
so many
someone
months
whose
now.
rates have gone up.
It is
That's a real
propaganda. It
story.
sounds something like the night of the. Never mind, I won't go that far. But it sounds a little bit like a Himmler statement.
oh, jeez.
Oh, you know what?
Call me a Nazi?
That is just so
on.
inappropriate.
I guess, was Himmler a Nazi? I think he was.
Honestly.
All righty then. Do you know Krugman won a Nobel Prize?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, that's I
Who
call
else
that.
did?
Yeah, I know, but a Nobel Prize is unemployment insurance for a liberal because without it, Krugman would be speaking on the street gibberish.